Good morning, viewers. It's Robert over at the Sig Armorer. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day / morning / afternoon, whatever time it is you're watching this dumb video. But I've got an interesting one for you today. As you know, I like to bring you interesting stuff. Sometimes I'll show you some of the action work that we do or some cool guns that we have. And today is cool guns that we have. So specialize in Sig Sauer pistols, and I collect them as well. And I happen to have a very neat collection of Sig Sauer Sport pistols here. So the Sport pistol line, let's see. Well, I got ahead of myself. Okay, so P220, P226, P229. These are the stalwarts of the Sig Sauer line. The 220 came out in 75, the 226 in 85, and the 229 in 92. Most of the time, these guns were delivered to LEO outfits, which is super fine. But at some point in 1995, Sig Sauer decided, well, hold on. There's IPSC and other types of competitive shooting in Europe, so let's make a gun for it. Let's take one of our pistols and let's make it a little heavier. Let's give it some really good sights. Let's give it some action work. Let's give it elevated controls and a bull barrel. And so they started, I believe, I'm not exactly sure, but I believe they started with the 226. So that's what we're going to start with. And here she is. Have you ever seen a prettier gun in your life? I'm going to give you a second to just kind of take it in. Again, we got a bull barrel. We got elevated controls. We got a super nice trigger. We got an extended barrel with a steel barrel weight. Now, there's something interesting about this gun. So this is a 226 Sport in 9mm. The thing that's cool about this is a lot of people give me shit whenever they call me and they say, hey, Robert, why does my compensated 9mm gun not work well? And I said, because 9mm is not powerful enough to be compensated. And I'll say it again, because I know the inbox is going to be destroyed here in a minute. 9mm is a minor power factor, does not have enough gas to provide compensation. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, I've got this new gun and it works fine and this and that. I believe you. However, it's very hard to do, to the point where even the German engineer said, no, we're not going to port 9mm, just not enough gas. But let's go to a major power factor like the 45, P220 45. You'll recognize this from Swordfish. John Travolta carried this in Swordfish. Super accurate gun, just crazy accurate 45. And the neat thing about this is compensated. So the German engineer said, oh, wait, we got 45, we have enough to gas it. Wow, that was just terrible. But there was enough gas in order to create a real compensator, divert the expended gases upward and keep the muzzle down. And it works really, really well. My 12-year-old daughter can shoot this comfortably all day long. But it just looks amazing. I mean, the designers must have said, well, we must make something super attractive. Wow, that was even worse. So P220, on the 226, they made a few thousand of them, maybe 5 or 10,000. On the 220, something like that, 5 or 10,000. But the one that they made the most of is the P229. You'll recognize this from The Matrix. The dude named Ghost dual wielded these in The Matrix. This one's in 357. Again, all steel, bull barrel. And 357, because it is a major power factor, can be compensated well. And this gun shoots super flat and is one of the most literally attractive SIG pistols ever made. Now, granted, some people have a problem with the aluminum compensator right next to the steel frame. I get that. It does have a little bit of an odd look to it. But the magazine, I think, is really where it's at. This kind of angled magazine, and you can set this on a flat surface and it'll sit like that, which makes it pretty cool. So if you want a cool paperweight, you can set that on your table and just stare at it all day. So thanks for watching. I was so excited to show you these 3 guns. So I'll see you later. Beep, beep. But wait, there's more. So the 3 that I just showed you are the Sport SLs. They have the extended controls, and they have either a compensator or a barrel weight on them. But Sig at some point in the, I want to say early aughts, said, hold on a second. The Americans have this thing called a barbecue gun. And it's basically a gun you never shoot. You put it in a super fancy holster and you wear it to impress your friends. So Sig said, hold my beer. we're going to make some too. And here's how they did it. They basically took the sport guns and they said, well, it'd be pretty cool if we just took the comp off of it. We call it a Sport SL2N Type D, which, by the way, their model numbers were all over the place. So they said, let's strip it down, and we'll call it a Sport 2 SL or a Sport Stock, and we'll sell those too. And this is what they came up with. Holy moly. 226 Sport Stock. There is no gun prettier on earth. It just doesn't exist. Beautiful nail grips, LPA adjustable sights, the bull barrel we were talking about earlier. Now, of these, they've made a few thousand. These are pretty hard to find, at least in unfired condition like you see here. But you know, once you add it to your collection, you're just not going to do away with it. The cool thing about the Sport Stock 226 was it was purpose built. They said, okay, well, we're gonna do this specifically for this. Whereas the next two I'm going to show you, which are extremely rare, are different. So Sig Sauer over in Germany, they will make a certain model like this P229 Sport, and they will put a bunch of the frames away. They'll put a bunch of the parts and the frames in storage so that they can support those guns over time. However, at some point, Sig Germany says, in our coffers, we've got a couple hundred, P220 steel frames, but we don't make that model anymore. Or we've got a couple of hundred P229 steel frames, and we don't make that model anymore. So they will basically take that frame and build up a sport gun with it, and they are relatively well after the standard sport guns came out. So this one's like 2000s. This one's 96 or 97. This one I believe is 01. So let's start with the P220 Sport Stock, of which there are a couple hundred of these that I know of. There might be more, but I only know of a couple hundred. And again, this would have started off as a frame for the sport gun, but they decided to make it short. And you can tell because of how sharp this front edge is. If you look at a standard P220, it's rounded off, whereas we have a sharp front edge, which is meant to be, mounted up with the compensator. So back in 2010, 2011, Sig Germany, they cleaned out their coffers and they made a couple hundred of these. They're kind of neat because some of them will come in with all German parts and wood grips. Other ones will come with some American parts and plastic grips. So it's kind of all over the place which one you were going to get 13 years ago. But if you were smart 13 years ago, you would have bought this because they are extremely hard to find. So that's the fifth in the series of the 5 sport guns. It's time to get to the ultimate. It's time to get right to the one that you'll never see this gun again. There's only about 50 of them in existence total ever. That's just it, 50. And I personally know of only 3 other people in America that have culminated all 6 of these together for the ultimate sport collection. And I'm not going to make you wait any longer. Here it is. Whew. P229 Sport 2 SL stock. I don't even know the model number. Hold on. Oh, they just call it a P229 Sport 40 SL. Again, their model numbers and names are all over the place. There's only 50 of these in existence. I believe these came out 2016. It's another one of those warehouse clearance things where Sig said, hey, we've got these frames. Let's build them up and sell them off. And they are critically amazing to look at. This one is unfired, but it just looks so great. I could just look at it all day, and which is what I have done. I haven't even fired it because it's just too rare. It's just too rare to fire. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Sig Sport Pistols and their efforts to kind of jump from LEO to the average Joe. And I think they did a really good job. Now the fun part is for you, this is your assignment should you have the inclination / money / time, as now you get to put together this collection. good luck. It's gonna take a while. I would start with these two. You can get on Gunbroker right now, and there'll probably be a couple of these on there. Prices all over the place. Then try to find one of these, the 226 Sport. In my opinion, these pop up on Gunbroker maybe 4 to 6 times a year tops. This one's even more rare, the Sport Stock. You'll see, maybe you'll see the Attic or another one of those high-end guys sell a couple of these a year. But bring your wallet, because it's gonna hurt. Just letting you know. And as far as these two go, good luck. They are unicorns. You will have to peruse the Gunbroker and Guns America and all that for months, if not years, to find this one, and you'll never, ever find this one. The cool thing about these are in my shop, and if you're ever in here in North Texas, you are welcome to finger bang these all you want. Once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for making us the #1 place for your Sig Sauer gunsmithing needs.